Nicola Sturgeon's major independence missteps have been picked apart, with the SNP standing accused of spending too much time worrying about Brexit. Nicola Sturgeon is living in cuckoo land, says Craig Hoy-related articles. We use your sign up to provide content in ways you've consented to and to improve our understanding of you. This may include adverts from us and third parties based on our understanding. You can unsubscribe at any time. More info. Former Scottish Justice Secretary Kenny McCaskill said the Scottish Government is wasting too much time focusing on the wrong fights, including Brexit and Boris Johnson's premiership. A supporter of Scottish independence himself, he said the time of nationalists would be better spent persuading voters about the perks of his country choosing its own destiny. Mr. McCaskill wrote in The Scotsman that the SNP has become distracted from its stated aims. One area where he believed this was most obvious was Brexit. An opponent of Brexit, Mr. McCaskill said Scotland, as a part of the UK, had been dragged out of the EU against its will. But the way to respond to this was, in his view, to further push the cause of Scottish independence. Instead, the Alba Party MP claimed Ms. Sturgeon and other leading SNP officials had expended their energy on trying to keep England in the EU. Mr. McCaskill wrote, they decided to try and save England from itself. Efforts went into reversing Brexit in England, rather than mobilising Scotland to assert its democracy. Independence rallies north of the border were shunned, while events south of it with Unionists were lapped up. Read more. Dominic Cummings claims Boris Johnson is fed. He added, who cares where they stood in 2014 or what they thought of Indy, putting their shoulder to the British wheel was all. Attempting to keep England in the EU rather than putting that energy into campaigning more for Scottish independence was not the only area the SNP was scolded for acting in a futile and distracted manner. Mr. McCaskill said that, more recently, Ms. Sturgeon, along with Ian Blackford, leader of the SNP in the House of Commons, had wasted too much effort on trying to remove Boris Johnson from the office of Prime Minister. Mr. McCaskill had no pleasant words for the Tory leader, who he branded a total charlatan and the worst Prime Minister since the early 19th century. But he insisted that removing Mr. Johnson from office was not a major battle for Scots. He argued that, instead, the focus should have been on creating an independent Scottish state. Mr. McCaskill was a prominent member of the SNP until he left to join Alex Salmond's Alba Party in March 2021. The SNP, quoted in the BBC, said at the time this was somewhat of a relief. Ms. Sturgeon is agitating for a second Scottish independence referendum, though this was ruled out by Mr. Johnson in November. The SNP has been approached for comment.